Welcome to this edition of Literary Reviews. My name is Maximillian Smith. In this edition, we are discussing The Three Musketeers.
The novel by Alexandre Dumas was set in the early 1600s France. Those of you who watched the edition featuring host introductions
are familiar with the petty treatment from the studio administration regarding my working conditions.
The complaint resulted in a review of my contract. My contract is solid, but I had to agree to any work-related terms set by the studio. So as you see, they provided me with marginally adequate food and drink while on location. What's worse, instead of flying me to Paris, they gave me a bus ticket to the AI studios in Gary, Indiana. So here I sit in front of a green screen in an amusement park costume. Pardon me, the producer is speaking in my ear.
This is ridiculous. Apparently, I am in breach of my contract terms if I don't wear the costume as designed.
They're jerks. Sorry about all that. My chatbot therapist says I need to develop stoicism. Anyway, on with the show.
I'll start by introducing the characters in three groups: D'Artagnan and the Three Musketeers, the antagonists, then the court and supporting players.
First, the inseparables are D'Artagnan and the Three Musketeers.
D'Artagnan is the protagonist of the novel. He is not actually one of the Three Musketeers at the beginning of the story, but rather a young man desperate to become one. Hailing from Gascony, a region in France stereotyped at the time for producing proud, impoverished, and fiery-tempered fighting men, D'Artagnan arrives in Paris with nothing but an old horse, a family recipe for healing balms, and a letter of recommendation. He is fiercely proud and prone to drawing his sword at the slightest insult.
While initially naive about Parisian politics, he is a quick learner, an exceptional swordsman,
and possesses a natural cunning that allows him to navigate dangerous court intrigues. He is the glue that binds the older trio together with renewed purpose. Athos is the undeclared leader of the trio and a father figure to D'Artagnan. Athos is the embodiment of old aristocracy. He is faultlessly polite, highly educated, and possessed of a supreme, almost indifferent courage in battle. However, he hides a deep secret regarding his past marriage that has left him cynical about women and prone to bouts of dark depression, which he often drowns in wine. He acts as the moral compass of the group. Porthos is the muscle of the group and often the comic relief. A giant of a man possessing Herculean strength, Porthos is obsessed with social standing and appearances. He loves flashy clothing, eating massive meals, and bragging about his romantic conquests among noblewomen. While not the most intelligent of the group and easily tricked, his loyalty to his friends is absolute, and his physical might is unmatched. Aramis is the complex intellectual torn between the sacred and the profane. Aramis is a living contradiction. He constantly claims to be on the verge of leaving the Musketeers to become a priest. Yet he is a deadly duelist and an active participant in high-stakes romantic affairs with powerful noblewomen. He is the most secretive conspirator of the group, often using theological studies as a cover for political scheming. He represents the tension between religious calling and worldly desires.
Next are the antagonists.
Cardinal Richelieu is the Prime Minister of France and the true power behind the throne. He is not a villain in the traditional sense.
He genuinely believes that everything he does is for the good of France. However, he is ruthless, manipulative, and operates through a vast network of spies. He views the Musketeers as rowdy impediments to his control over the king. He is the gray eminence, the calculating mastermind against whom D'Artagnan must match wits. Milady de Winter is the novel's ultimate villain and a beautiful and deadly agent of the cardinal.
If Richelieu is the political antagonist, Milady is the pure force of malevolence. She is stunningly beautiful,
Highly intelligent, entirely sociopathic, and a master of seduction and poison. She has a mysterious
Criminal past that links her tragically to Athos. Unlike Richelieu, who acts for the state, Milady acts out of greed,
vengeance, and pure malice. She is D'Artagnan's most dangerous personal enemy. The Comte de Rochefort is Richelieu's primary henchman. He is known initially to D'Artagnan only as the man in the black cloak. Rochefort is the cardinal's dedicated agent. He is the first person to insult D'Artagnan on his way to Paris, establishing a long-running rivalry. He is a skilled swordsman who carries out the cardinal's darker orders.
And lastly, the court and supporting players.
Queen Anne of Austria and the Queen of France is neglected by her husband and persecuted by the cardinal. Her secret affair with the Duke of Buckingham kicks off the central plot of the novel, the affair of the diamond studs, forcing her to rely on the Musketeers to save her honor. Constance Bonacieux is the Queen's loyal linen maid and D'Artagnan's primary love interest. She is brave and serves as the link between D'Artagnan and the Queen's plight. Her loyalty puts her in grave danger from Richelieu and Milady. King Louis III is the ruler of France, depicted as somewhat weak, petulant, and easily manipulated by Richelieu.
He has a complicated relationship with his musketeers.
He is often annoyed by their brawling, but secretly admires their bravery and enjoys when they irritate the cardinal.
The Duke of Buckingham is the Prime Minister of England.
He is dashing, incredibly wealthy, and passionately in love with the Queen of France. His actions are driven almost entirely by this romantic obsession, which Richelieu uses to manipulate international politics, leading to war between England and France.
In 1625, young D'Artagnan leaves Gascony for Paris, intending to join the king's musketeers. En route, he is beaten,
And his letter of introduction is stolen by a mysterious man, later revealed to be the Comte de Rochefort, an agent of Cardinal Richelieu. Upon arriving in Paris, D'Artagnan visits Monsieur de Tréville, captain of the Musketeers. While looking out a window, he spots Rochefort and rushes outside to confront him. In his haste, he successively collides with 3 experienced musketeers, Athos, Porthos, and Aramis, offending each one. He is challenged to 3 separate duels that afternoon. At the first duel site,
D'Artagnan realizes his opponents are close friends. Before they can fight, Cardinal Richelieu's guards appear to arrest them for breaking the edicts against dueling.
Wait, let me get this straight. You challenged the 3 of us in separate incidents, all in a single day? It seems this tourist has a chip on his shoulder. You're going to have to wait a minute, Chippy. The Cardinal's guards need a little schooling first.
the 3 musketeers and D'Artagnan unite against the superior numbers of the guards, winning a decisive victory. This sparks a deep friendship among the 4 men, who adopt the motto, all for one, one for all. Though D'Artagnan must serve as a guardsman in another company before he can officially become a musketeer.
D'Artagnan falls in love with his landlord's wife, Constance Bonacieux, who serves as a linen maid to Queen Anne of Austria.
The Queen is secretly having an affair with the English Duke of Buckingham.
As a parting gift, she gives Buckingham a rosewood box containing 12 diamond studs that her husband, King Louis III, had given her.
My Lulu gave me these, but I would like to give them to you as a symbol of trust. If anyone knows you have these, then they'll know of our affair. I don't want you to think that I will give away any gifts I receive from you to some future lover. I'm absolutely certain I would not. I am mostly certain. I am somewhat certain.
Cardinal Richelieu, seeking to expose the Queen and start a war with England, learns of the gift through his spy, Milady de Winter.
Richelieu persuades the king to hold a grand ball and insist the Queen wear the diamond studs.
The Queen, panicked, confesses to Constance, who recruits D'Artagnan to travel to London and retrieve the gems before the ball.
The 4 friends set out for England, but Richelieu's agents ambush them repeatedly along the road. Porthos is disabled in a duel, Aramis is wounded, and Athos is cornered in an inn. Only D'Artagnan reaches Calais and sails to England.
I've never been to the northern region of France. It is cold and desolate. France is a beautiful country, but Calais is the armpit of the universe. I shouldn't complain. The other guys have it worse. Yet I wish I didn't have to take a sailing ship across the channel to get to Dover. If only there was a tunnel dug under the channel, then one could ride a horse to Dover. I guess I'll kill some time in the duty-free before my ship departs.
He arrives at Buckingham's palace, only to discover that Milady de Winter has already stolen 2 of the studs at Richelieu's behest. Buckingham furiously orders a jeweler to craft exact replicas within 24 hours. He gives D'Artagnan the complete set, who then races back to Paris, arriving just in time for the Queen to wear the studs at the ball, foiling Richelieu's plot. Following this success, D'Artagnan begins a dangerous flirtation with Milady de Winter, oblivious to her role as Richelieu's spy. He eventually discovers a branded fleur-de-lis on her shoulder, marking her as a convicted criminal. He also learns that the noble Athos was once married to her before discovering her crimes. Furious at being exposed, Milady makes several attempts on D'Artagnan's life.
I tried different things to do away with that knucklehead. All my plots were foiled. He's a wascally wabbit.
The friends are soon ordered to participate in the siege of La Rochelle, a Protestant stronghold backed by England.
During the campaign, the Musketeers overhear Richelieu meeting with Milady.
He orders her to assassinate the Duke of Buckingham to cut off English support for La Rochelle. In return, Milady demands a carte blanche, a blank warrant authorizing the execution of the bearer's prisoner, intending to use it against D'Artagnan. Athos later confronts Milady and seizes the warrant.
Woman, your hatred has made your life miserable, but you refuse to change. You married me under false pretenses and ruined me.
You revel in harming others. That's not normal. And there's something seriously wrong with you, friggin' Cruella.
Milady travels to England, where she is imprisoned by Buckingham. However, she seduces her jailer, Felton,
Convincing him that Buckingham is a tyrant. Felton helps her escape and assassinates the Duke.
Milady flees back to France and hides in a convent where Constance Bonacieux is also being sheltered by the Queen. The four friends leave the siege to rescue Constance. They arrive at the convent moments too late. Milady has discovered Constance's identity and poisoned her before escaping. Constance dies in D'Artagnan's arms. Hunting down Milady, the Musketeers capture her with the help of an executioner whose brother she had corrupted. They hold a trial, enumerating her crimes against them and others. She is sentenced to death and beheaded by the executioner.
I rowed her in a small boat across the river to this bank. Those four men watched from across the water as I carried out the sentence.
Upon returning to La Rochelle, D'Artagnan is arrested by Rochefort and brought before Richelieu to answer for Milady's death.
D'Artagnan presents the carte blanche Richelieu had signed. Defeated by D'Artagnan's resourcefulness and acknowledging his talent, Richelieu offers him a commission as a lieutenant in the Musketeers. D'Artagnan tries to give it to his friends, but they all decline, insisting he has earned the rank, officially making him one of them.
Thank you for watching this edition of Literary Reviews.